Do you find it hard to let people in? Do you find it hard to ask for help? Have you gotten so used to doing everything on your own, you think it's easier that way? Have you put walls of protection up around your heart for fear of being hurt again? Because of the things that we've been through, the trauma, the people that have left us and the people that we have had to walk away from, we think it's better. It's better if we don't let somebody in again because they can't hurt me then. No one can leave if they don't enter. But we think we're keeping ourselves safe with these walls of protection, but in actual fact, we're hurting ourselves more. We're doing ourselves more damage. The power that is in community and in friendship is so immense, and it's time to start letting your real soul tribe into your life. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. These walls of protection, these walls of safety, they're not actually keeping us safe. And don't get me wrong, we've been put into isolation for a reason. We have had to walk away from a lot of toxic dynamics. We've had to walk away from a lot of family, friends, relationships, even work dynamics. And this has bruised us. This has triggered our abandonment and rejection wound, our unworthiness wound. And this in turn has led us to close completely off. Now, don't get me wrong, that period of isolation was there for a reason. That was to make us strong. That was to make us independent. But sometimes we can go to the extreme and become hyper independent, where we're afraid to ask for help, afraid to let anyone else in, because we're just afraid that the past will repeat and that we're just going to get hurt again. So we tend to do everything on our own. But this can get lonely. And this can actually even trigger your unworthiness wound. This is what I've noticed lately. My unworthiness wound was triggered again. There was lots of different things and lots of different reasons why it was triggered, but lots of different reasons for where it was coming from. And, it took me a while to realize a lot of it was to do with my loneliness. And I don't feel lonely, don't get me wrong. I love my space. I love being on my own. I love doing things on my own. But those walls we put up can actually lead to an awful lot of pain. And, I only really discovered this back in early December. You know what I mean? And, a friend of mine helped me to open my heart. My heart was turned into stone, and that's how detrimental it can get. I've said this before. I was always a giver of love, but I found it very hard to receive love. So I had a one-way system in my heart, but it started to get tense, where that one-way system was closing completely, that there was going to be no way in or no way out. And I had to really look at this. And I discovered I was afraid to be loved. And I discovered that I was afraid to let anybody else in again. There was a part of me that said, if I keep protecting myself, if I don't let anyone in, even friendship, but this is not just romantic love, this is friendship as well. I was just if I don't let people in, no one can leave. No one can leave me again if I don't have anyone that has the potential to hurt me. But I started to realize how much pain that was causing my heart, and how much lonelier I was getting because of that. And I was forgetting the power of friendship and the power of community. We're not... I've said this in other videos. This used to trigger me when I was in my hyper-independence mode. Humans aren't meant to be on their own. I used to get so angry. I'd be like, fuck off, I could do it on my own, fuck you. You know what I mean? I used to get so angry at that phrase. But the power of love needs to be shared. It really does. When I did have a big group of friends before I had to walk away from certain people, and all through my life, I thrive off people. I just buzz when I'm around my people, when I'm around the right people. So I'm like Angela 2.0 when I'm around my soul tribe. You know what I mean? I'm nuts anyway, but being nuts on your own gets boring. Do you know what I mean? You need to share the weird, just share the happy, share the love. And, you can be a better self around the right people. And this is it. It's around the right people. And I've had to obviously walk away from the wrong people because they were right at one stage, but they ended up, we ended up drifting because I was on a different path. And, you know, I missed that. I really, really missed that because I just love it. I just buzz off the right people. And I love to share happy. You know what I mean? When you're happy, your friends are happy for you. But when your friends are happy, you're happy for them. So if they win, you win. And if you win, they win. It's like, oh my God, we're all fucking winning. You know what I mean? So there's so much magic to be found within friendship and community. You know what I mean? Like, you know, my friends have made me realize this over the last few months. It's like, we're so powerful on our own and we have such a powerful mission and a purpose on this planet, and we're going to make a change and we're going to do that solo. But we can like make that magic bigger. We can help a wider community. We can help the whole world if we do it in a team. If we do it in a community, if we do it with our friends, if we do it with our soul tribe. And that's what it's all about. And I know when we go into this isolation, the cocoon phase, and I know actually, like, you know, we're actually on the spring equinox today, right? And it's like, and the first day of the astrological new year, which is a time of rebirth, renewal, and transformation. We're starting again. And, you know, we were in that cocoon phase and now we're getting our wings and we're going to fucking fly. And that's beautiful. And so this is the best time to actually understand that you're no longer fitting in your comfort zone anymore. You're no longer supposed to be on your own anymore. You have to join the other butterflies. You really do. You know, the darkness is over. So, like, you know, when we're in that cocoon phase, it kind of gets to a stage where you actually, there's two kind of sides to the coin. One of it is like, I can do everything on my own. I'm hyper independent. Now, you're not saying hyper independent because you're not conscious that you're overly independent. But like, you know, you're not asking people for help and you're like, I can do this on my own. I'm strong now. I don't need anyone. But then there's the other side of you going, why did everyone walk away? And why am I on my own? And why am I lonely? And like, you know, the universe says that the soul tribe would come in, but where the fuck are they? But you see, well, they only come in when you're ready. And then that's when the magic happens. You know what I mean? You do start to question, is there even a soul tribe? Is there even people I'm going to communicate with? Or, you know, team up with? Is there a community that I'm going to be a part of? Or am I going to be doing this on my own? Because you do start questioning. Like, there's not an awful lot of frustration comes in this isolation journey. And you're like, you know, is it all fucking lies? Am I fucking crazy? Is this ever going to fucking go to the, you know, am I ever going to really ascend and get out of this darkness? But it does happen. Oh my God, it does. And it finally, like, oh my God, you're in this dark cocoon for so long. And it's like, is there a fucking light? You're like fucking bitching at the universe going, oh my God, I've been doing all the hard work. Where's the fucking reward? And then all of a sudden, when you get over that stage, you actually start to see all your hard work pay off. You start to see those people arrive into your life. But that's when the resistance comes in. And, you know, I've been going through it off and on. As I said, my unworthiness wound was re-triggered lately. And it was re-triggered by so much. And I had so much imposter syndrome starting new projects. And I'm only after realising it was connected to my unworthiness wound. It was connected to all these different aspects, right? But mainly it was connected to my fear of letting people in. It is. Like, you know, I've been doing so much on my own. I'm like, I don't need people. I can do this on my own. And it's like you get so comfortable in that cocoon. It's so familiar. It's safe. And you're like, you know, starting new projects, you know, being a part of a new community. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you know, I wasn't even conscious of this. I thought it was just because, initially it was because I was like, I don't fit in here. But this is the noise in my head telling me I don't fit in here. I don't belong. I'm not going to be accepted, all this stuff. But that is connected to those walls, to the fear of letting people in. And I didn't join the dots there until the other night, like, and it's just like, it's all interconnected to my fear of being hurt again. it's all interconnected to my heart walls. And it's like, if I don't start, like, you know, and I obviously every project I've started, I've continued on, because I've been conscious of the fact that it's fucking imposter syndrome, and that it's, you know, I have to push through the resistance, I have to push through that fear, I have to push out of my comfort zone. And, you know, so I've still moved forward, knowing that this stuff is obviously for me, but I'm still kind of going, no, don't do it. Stay where you are. Stay safe. Stay under the blanket. You'll be fine. You know what I mean? And then I connected it to the fact that I was just a fear of community again. And, you know, that's what I've noticed. I all kind of pointed together. You know, I drifted away from community and became hyper independent because I was so afraid of being hurt. And now I'm finding more community, more friendships, and my heart is expanding again. You know, and it was, as I said, it was only a couple of months ago that I started to open up to my friends again. You know, I closed off to them because I was like, you know, if I just pretend that I'm okay all the time and I don't ask them for help, that means that they can't hurt me. And they're not going to hurt me. It's just I was so afraid of just letting anybody in. So now that's expanding for me, and I'm letting in community. I'm being a part of a wider group. And it's scary. And I realized that it was all interconnected to my fear of breaking down those walls. And this is what we have to remember. Like, we put up these walls to protect ourselves. We put up these walls because we think it's safe. But it actually ends up hurting us even more. And it really does. You know, and I've never been in this position before where I've closed up so much. You know, that my wall has really closed up. And, you know, it's scary. You know, when I discovered my heart was nearly turned to stone, it was scary to think that I could never love again. Because I'm a giver of love. That's my whole life purpose, is to fucking love. You know, I was okay with it. Well, I was naively okay with the fact that I was afraid to be loved. But I was a giver of love, and that's how I survived, was by loving and giving love to people, giving my empathy to people. And if the fear of not being, like, you know, when we have those walls go up so much, it completely blocks our ability to give or receive, because we need to give and receive in equal measure for it to be abundant. And I was getting to the stage where there was a possibility that I would have turned completely bitter, where I would not have been able to give love. And, you know, Scrooge came into my head there. You know, if you isolate yourself so much and become so hating towards everything around you, you can actually turn into fucking stone, effectively. There's no room for love, but it can come back once we let those guards down, once we let people in, once we trust again. And, you know, it's a lot about, you know, we fear that we can't trust other people, but we're not trusting ourselves. We are blocking ourselves off from love. And we've done so much healing. We've done all that fucking healing. So in letting people in again, we're actually trusting ourselves more to not let the wrong ones in. You know, and I think an awful lot of it is as well, we fear, this came up as well. I was angry with myself for not seeing behind the deception of the narcissists that I have had experiences with. But at the time I was in a more vulnerable state. I was more wounded. So I had no awareness of deception. And I've healed enough now to be able to see through a lie. Oh my God, I can see lies everywhere. I just really can. You know what I mean? You don't have to breathe a lie and I know you're lying. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's about self-trust. When you do that inner healing and that inner growth, you can't actually, it's not possible for you to allow another narcissist into your life. You might see one, but you're able to go, no, not this time. And that's it. It's about trusting yourself. You can't trust other people unless you trust yourself. So that trust and forgiveness needs to come into yourself first. Know that you've done enough healing that you can't attract assholes anymore. You just can't. Because you see, a healed empath has superpowers. We really fucking do. You know what I mean? An unhealed empath has the potential to be controlled and abused. But a healed empath is a superhuman. Really, we are. So therefore, we actually cannot possibly be abused again, because we've become so strong in ourselves to not let that ever penetrate again. It's not fucking possible. But if we continue to close off from the world, we're actually making ourselves weaker. That's the thing, yeah. We think we're stronger on our own. We think these walls are protecting us. But those walls are actually making you weaker. You know, that independence made you stronger. The healing made you stronger. But if you get too far over, you'll actually go back to weak mode again. Because love is the most powerful force in the universe. And if you're closing your heart off to love, you're actually closing your heart off to power. And that internal power will come with inner love and inner trust. And then you can let your guards down and let the love of your community, your soul tribe, and your friendships in. And the love of your divine counterpart as well. So it's all interconnected. And it makes you stronger to have the ability to give love and to be able to have the ability to receive love in a healthy way. So there can't be toxic dynamics anymore, because you're a superhero now. You're superpowers. You've got superpowers. You really do. It's like you can see through deceit and lies now. You've overcome anything that you have not had the ability to overcome in the past. So we have these fears of letting people in. We have these fears of trusting. We don't even trust ourselves. We think that we're stronger without people. We're not. Like, if you're a healed empath and you meet another healed empath, and then the two of you meet another healed empath, and then there's another one. Can you imagine what 100 healed empaths can do for this fucking planet? It's going to be huge. So yes, you can do stuff on your own and make a change for this world, but multiply your superpowers by whatever amount of people are in your soul tribe. That's a lot of fucking power. And isn't it better to help, like, you know, if you helped 10 people and your friend and you together helped 20 people, now that's very minuscule because we're obviously helping a lot more, and then 3 of you may help 30 people, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, millions. Isn't that what the whole thing is? We're here to help others, but we need to help, we need to help ourselves first by letting people in to help us. And then together we are stronger. Your soul tribe will make you or help you become even better than you already are. You've become your very best version on your own. But can you imagine what all these superpower people will all be like together? We're going to change fucking things. So now it's time to let your guards down, let that soul tribe in, and love them with all your heart, because they're going to love you back. And there's just no possibility of repeating the past, because you're superhuman now. You really are. And you cannot fail at this. You cannot attract in another narcissist. And you cannot attract in any more assholes, because you can see through every kind of deception now. So it's about trusting yourself so that you can trust others. It's about loving yourself so that you can love others and let yourself be loved. So it's time to let your soul tribe in and start making waves on this planet. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.